Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Mark from Right Line Trading, and you're going to hear some beeping in the background. The market just opened, and we're going to be getting some signals from behind us just because the candle is locked and it's not moving very much. I just unfortunately have to open with this disclaimer that all signals and trading opportunities provided, both orally, written, or electronically, that are disclosed to visitors or subscribers or for educational demonstration purposes only. Right Line Trading takes no responsibility for any participation by visitors or subscribers within any market for any profits or losses that may be incurred. Now, as soon as I finish this, I'll be able to stop the beeping. Um, Everyone knows that participating in trading involves substantial risk, and that it's understood that the traders can lose a substantial amount of money. Careful consideration of your financial position should be made prior to trading. Never miss more than 2% of your account on any trade. We are not registered certified financial trading advisors or licensed commodity trading advisors. We recommend that you consult one before making a trade. And that's it. So with that, I'm going to take the slides off. It's really not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is our modified Laguerre. It's the first of a kind, and it's really an amazing tool to help you confirm a trade. Now, no single indicator that uses data from your trading chart is going to be enough to allow you to trade with the kind of specificity you need, I think, to make you a winner. But as a tool to confirm a trade, it really has tremendous power. Now, what I did was put up was three stochastics. One is our modified Laguerre. Now, the modified Laguerre is nothing more than a modified RSI. So what we've done is we've called it a modified RSI. But the Laguerre formula allows you with a lot of configurability, and we've modified the formula significantly to provide you with the ability to trade with a tremendous amount of specificity. I'm going to show you how the properties of the Laguerre or the modified RSI versus stochastic and standard RSI. And now it's going to really help you get into a trade and allow you to stay into a trade. Stay in a trade. Now, the thing about the Laguerre formula, and Laguerre really was sort of a genius mathematician. I went through a lot of the stuff that he had that's on Google on the website, and he developed a lot of mathematical formulas and a lot of theorems. I mean, this guy was no slouch, and he didn't just pop into trading and create his modified RSI without having a lot of background. Now I'm getting this signal. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me see if I can shut it off here. Now traders have wanted this in, and we're not so happy. I don't really want it. Let me see if that's going to be enough to take it out. I hope. So this is why we picked the Laguerre to do all of the modifications. Now, it's based on a fixed formula. It has multiple internal settings and multiple filters. So it really allows us to change how it reacts to price. Now, the thing that I want to review with everyone is, now I'm going to answer all questions at the end. So please type them in, and then when I'm done, I'll go through any questions that you have. Now, every single oscillator, no matter what type of formula it uses to churn out its oscillator line and its signal line, is based on four parameters. It's both. It needs the open, close, and high and low of every candle. Now, that should tell you right away that you can't use an oscillator if you trade a Renko chart. Now, I've seen oscillators on Renko software, Renko-based software, that go for $10,000 or more. One with a lot of Fibonacci levels. They don't work. If they don't have a high, a low, and an open and a close, they will not function. You must have a wick. So if you're trading a Renko, you cannot use any form of stochastic. Now, all it does in one form or another is compare, if you take a given candle, its principle is really very simple. If that's a candle, it's going to compare the high of the move. Let's say the high is, well, let's say the high is here, with the close. And as the close of the candle approaches the high, the oscillator formula will start churning that oscillator line up. And it's going to signal you, it's going to tell you momentum is rising. On a short move, it looks at the close or the low of the move, and the close and the relationship or the distance between the close and the low. And as the close starts to approach the low, you know that momentum is moving to the downside, and the oscillator line is going to be heading down. Now, how this occurs is really based on the formula. You can do a 2-candle or a 3-candle look back. It can do a standard arithmetic assessment. It can do a geometric assessment. But when it's all broken down, this is really what it's doing. It's looking at, on a short trade, the close, comparing the low of the move to the close. And on a long trade, it's comparing the high of the move to the close. If you don't have those parameters, this oscillator will not work. Now, we trade Unirenko, and the only reason that the oscillator works is, unfortunately, I can't show you now, but in real time, our candles are hybrid Unirenko. They create an internal wick. Now, Ninja, the platform, will not let these wicks stay for us after we close the platform. But if we look at the right edge, you can see the market's open, and you can see here on the E-mini, you can see the wicks. They're forming on the right edge. Now, when you close and open, you're going to lose these wicks. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we cannot get the platform to keep these wicks in place. So since the open, you can see we've got the internal wick inside the hybrid Unirenko bars. Now, as far as I know right now, we have the only hybrid Unirenko bars available. This allows you to use candlestick patterns and really gives you a great idea of market structure, even using Unirenko. Now, let me go back to my other chart. I just wanted to make sure for you that you see why, without candle bodies, whoops, I don't want this, we still are able to use this formula. Now, here's my chart. Now, let's compare our modified RSI, or modified Laguerre, with stochastic, standard stochastic, and standard RSI. Now, they're all going to signal you into a trade, at least as far as I'm concerned, based on the same parameters. We're going to use the same parameters to get us into a trade and to keep us into a trade. And we're going to look what happens on a nice move down on crude oil. And I purposely picked this move simply because it had 2 reversal candles. But in totality, It had a nice long move, one that hopefully you'd want to be able to stay in for the whole move without getting shaken out and be able to tolerate these reversal candles without losing the trade. That's real tough to stay in, even though on a reversal candle. And if you can't, and I don't want to, I'm not really here to teach trading methodology. You can always re-enter right here and re-enter here. It's always best to be able to stay in, but if your stop takes you out, our trailing stop takes us out on a reversal candle, we'll go right back in. Or we're going to lose some ticks, but it's a little more conservative approach to trading. Now, let's not look at this line at all, because this is also sort of innovative. I don't know of anyone that's ever done this before, but I don't want to look at this assessment right off the bat. What I want to do is simply look at the oscillator line and how we would take an entry. Well, I haven't successfully removed the beep and the bang here, even though the alert sound is off. Why don't I just move this to 100 and see if that'll keep it. Stop it from beeping. Okay. Now, what we're going to look for on a move down on all of the platforms is we're going to look for a cross of the signal line across the 20 line and for it to print. So we're looking here, the market is overbought. Overbought conditions are relieved when the signal line crosses the 20 line to the downside and prints. Now, for our modified RSI, it's right here. And you can see you're going to get an arrow on your chart. Now, one of the things about this indicator is you're not going to have to watch the oscillator line. All you have to do is watch the candles, because intra-candle, you're going to get this down arrow flickering. And if this line stays below the 80 line or the 20 line here and prints, this down candle will print. And that's a potential short entry. Now let's look at the stochastic line, standard stochastic. This is going to get you in earlier into the trade, right here. Now earlier is not necessarily better, but in this particular case, it would have got you in faster. Let's see, right here, one candle earlier, right here. And standard RSI would have gotten you in 2 candles earlier, right here. Our modified RSI or modified Laguerre would have gotten you in here. Now, if you use our trading methodology, it's the only entry that you can take. You can't take a trade that hasn't broken the 15, and this is the 15. You could take the entry off of standard stochastic. But let's see what happens as the trade matures, because that's one of the most important parameters that we have to deal with is, if we use indicator analysis, what happens as the trade continues. So let me take out these arrows. And just based on the early entry, you're going to see that on each of these up candles here, you get a bump. Here's the stochastic line. You get a bump up. Now it doesn't cross the signal line, so it's not going to take you out of the trade, but it's going to cause you some worry. But look at the RSI line. The standard RSI is going to bump the RSI line above the signal line, and that's going to be a signal for you to get out, because you're right at the 20 line, which is oversold. And when you get a move up off of oversold conditions, this is telling you that right here, you're going to potentially get a reversal in price. And if you use this indicator as an exit tool, this may be your exit and you're done. Getting back into the trade, obviously, is going to be delayed significantly because you can't get in until you're back until you're all the way down here. So what you see is that standard stochastic and standard RSI are jumpy. You can see that the RSI line is moving all around. The stochastic line here is moving all around. RSI line actually signals you out of the trade twice on both up candles. But look at our modified Laguerre. Our modified Laguerre goes below the 20 line on the move. I want to make this red. Orange red's good enough. And it stays flat. Both of these up candles don't budge. So it stays oversold, and it tells you on this move that the bears are firmly in control of the market and that price is going to continue to fall despite the reversal candles. You don't, I mean, in this particular case, it is not even an issue. You are locked down. Now, some traders are going to use the oversold condition and wait for divergence to take a counter trend move. If you do that, you're going to get really, really beaten up. What you want to do is you want to go with what the market's telling you. When your modified RSI line is locked short in oversold conditions, the bears are running the market here. Here, you're just never sure. These lines don't lock down. This one does eventually, but it's all the way into the move. This one locks down all the way down here. Our modified Laguerre locks down and stays down. And when the market actually is ready to change direction, here you got one candle up. Here you got one candle up. Here, one candle up actually moved the Laguerre and moved the modified Laguerre on only one move up candle. I mean, it's reading market momentum really well. This up candle did nothing. This up candle did nothing. This up candle moved the Laguerre. It took it off the lockdown position, and now it's heading up to the 20 line. The next candle gives you your long entry. I'm going to take this line off and this line off, and you see it signals you long. Now, if you want to take this long trade, for me, it's a counter trend. I don't go long below the 50. I only go short. And I don't go short above the 50. I only go long. But we're not talking about trading methodology here. We're simply talking about signals. Now, you had a potential long trade here that failed. A potential long trade here that failed. Here, you have a long signal, and it finally works. But it's the only signal the modified Laguerre gave you. So it trades with tremendous specificity. You can see that the stochastic is already well on its way up. This thing is jockeyed around by price. And I don't trust it because of the way it behaves. The RSI is very sluggish at times, and other times is overreactive. That's just the way the formula is. So I don't trust that either. But the Laguerre, because it has in its formula multiple filters, which we've modified, when it reads momentum terrific, and when the market is locked short, even on a reversal candle, It's going to keep you in the move down. But when you see the Laguerre cross that 20 line to the upside, it's time to get out. And when you see the arrow, if you want to counter trend trade, you can go long. Now, we're gonna look at this on a live market. I just want you to understand what you're seeing before I move there. So I don't like stochastic and I don't like the RSI. As I said, the RSI, the standard stochastic, and this is not fast stochastic, it's standard. It's jumpy and too reactive. RSI sometimes just goes to sleep on you, and other times it's going to signal you out of a trade when you shouldn't get out of a trade. Now, there's a second opportunity to get in short on a trade, and I actually like the second opportunity better than I like the first one. Okay, excuse me. And that is when the market locks down. Now, when the market locks down, you don't want to have to be looking at the RSI or at the indicator. If you're trading a couple of markets, it's a real pain in the neck to have your crosshair over all of this. Now, I'm going to take out all of the drawing objects. So let's clean it up. And now let's just look at right here where the market, where the RSI, here's the 20 line, right here. Now, when it drops below the 20 line, here, and then flattens to our satisfaction, you're going to get this red band right up here. And this tells you, based on the formula for the modified RSI or modified Laguerre, that the bears are firmly in control of the market. You're going to get that first candle with that red line jumping. It's going to be flashing red. You can alert it if you want to. And you know that if this candle closes to the downside, you're going to have a short entry. This is the best entry as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to take the early cross of the signal line, of the RSI line across the signal line. I want to take it when it's locked down and the bears are firmly in control. You can take this trade. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't want to convey to you a sense of trading methodology, because that's not what my role here to do is. It's simply to show you how you can leverage the indicator based on how you want to trade it. You could have taken it short here, but this is your best short trade as far as I'm concerned, where the indicator is locked short right here. And the reason you don't even consider getting out of this trade is because you continue to get this red line and you continue to get the Laguerre locked to the bottom. Now, your standard Laguerre will not do this. I mean, this is modified Laguerre will. And like I said, and I just want to reemphasize, the only reason we started with the Laguerre formula is it has multiple additional inputs to smooth it and create filters within it. So here is your best short trade. You don't get in the earliest, but we don't want to trade with sensitivity. We don't want to rush the trade. We want to get in when the probability of this trade moving all the way to the downside is the likeliest, and it's right here. Now you can see what's important to me also is that if you're trading 2 or 3 instruments, you can use this on the Forex. You can use this on stocks. That's 85 ticks. You can use this on any trading instrument that you like. And if you're trading multiple instruments, you don't want to have to sit with your crosshair and watch where the signal line is versus the RSI line. It's too difficult. And you have to wait for it to cross and print. So you have to basically do your own assessment. Here, you're going to get this flash intra-candle. If it prints, you're in one tick below. Here, this is going to flash intra-candle. If it prints red, you're in one tick below. Gives you plenty of heads up. So now let's take a look at our trading chart. Move this over. I'm still getting some bells and whistles here, but I don't think it's too difficult. Now let's go to crude first. Now what I've done, this is our whole platform, and I don't really want to discuss most of the indicators here. All I want to do is discuss two others actually, and I want to impart to you additional trading information. First of all, this upper line, which is our quant line, looks at money flow, and the bottom line is our modified RSI. It's telling you exactly when the indicator is locked down and when the bears are firmly in control of the market. Now, because this line, the upper line, does a multi-time frame analysis of multiple markets, unfortunately, NinjaTrader, when you close and open, just like the wicks, changes it a little bit. What it does is it pushes it a candle or two to the right. So in real time, and I can tell you this with unflagging certainty, you would have red here without even looking down at the oscillator analysis. And what you're going to get is a short trade right here. Now it's trading into a pivot. It's up to you whether you use pivots or are concerned about it, but you have a short trade that goes 39 ticks. Now I don't trade without a multi-time frame alignment and trend, but what we're going to do is we're going to look for areas where money flow and the Laguerre coincide. And right here is your perfect entry. Now, if we look for the arrow, here's our down arrow. And we should have an up arrow right here. Sergio is gonna fix that. You will have an up arrow here. This would have gotten you in a little bit earlier, but this is the safest entry right here. Now, the Laguerre here was created while the wicks were here. So the Laguerre assessment is accurate. Now, the candle halo is the MACD. And what I found is that the MACD is a multi-time frame assessment of the MACD will increase the power of the entry. And you can see how the candle halo is blue. It's telling us that the MACD is moving to the upside. We have positive momentum on multiple time frames on the MACD. But just looking at the Laguerre alone, no matter what your trading methodology, and no matter what your additional indicators might be on your trading chart, you're really never going to want to trade in the counter trend direction or without it in your direction. When it's locked to the upside, when it's above the 20 line, and the internal assessment tells you that we've got a locked market up, this is a great time, along with money flow, to trade long. Now, I added money flow to add specificity to the trade. You don't absolutely need it, but if you have it, it really helps. Now, if you trade money flow without the Laguerre, you've got a problem. You want them both. When you've got them both, you oftentimes, I'd say 80% or better, are going to get a long trade. Now, when you trade with specificity, you're going to lose some winners, but the trades you enter are very likely to be winners. If you look throughout here, look how the Laguerre where a modified RSI and money flow almost never give you anything to get into. And it just allows you to look at this at price movement here and just sort of laugh at it. I mean, you've got no potential entry. So one of the biggest problems that we as day traders or swing traders get is not getting winners, it's avoiding losers. I mean, the days that I have difficulty in the live trading room in the morning are not the days I can't find winners, because I always get tons of winners. It's the days where I pull in losers. And let me tell you, the market, if you trade the index equities, the E-mini, the NASDAQ, the Russell, or the Dow, they're very choppy. And I've talked to a lot of traders this weekend. I mean, long-term traders. They won't trade the index equities right now. But I think the choppiness that you see in the E-mini, Russell, Dow, NASDAQ are going to be what we're going to see for the balance of 2019. We're not going to get that great trending market we had for a month before New Year's and then right after New Year's. Those markets were just cake. You could pull 3, 4, 5 points out of the E-mini without even blinking. In fact, you get 6 or 7 points. Now it's really challenging. They still give you good moves, but avoiding chop is difficult. They turn on a dime sometimes. And the Laguerre or the modified Laguerre is really going to help you avoid that. Now, here's another incredible, this trade is a trade I took on Friday. And this is a 45 tick trade. And you can see that our money flow line and our lower Laguerre line are perfectly coincide and give you the entry. They don't coincide here. From here to here. Now, money flow, our upper line, is telling you that money is being pulled out of the market. But for some reason, if you try to take an entry here, you'd have to have one heck of a big stop, because the Laguerre is still moving against you. It's heading up. And here's where you could take an entry with increased risk. There's your down arrow. There's simply the cross of the signal line across the 80 line, relieving the over bought conditions, except you would have to weather this up candle. If you waited until the market locked down, you got a smooth 45 tick trade to the downside. So I find when the Laguerre locks short is the best time to take a trade. And right here, the Laguerre is short all the way. Right here, it's locked down. Now here's your short. Right here on this arrow. It's premature. You have to be below the 50. You're trading into tons of support. But if you wait for the lockdown and then for money flow to come in, you've got tremendous specificity on a break of this pivot, and you've got 13 ticks. But the one thing that Laguerre is telling you is it's giving you an absolute direction to trade. It's telling you you can only trade short. And if you have any other signal or any, like I said, one indicator that analyzes data from your trading chart is simply not going to be enough to make you a winner. But it has tremendous power in telling you which way to trade. And this 3 candle retracement here, or 2 candle, barely bumps the Laguerre. It creates this little peak here, but it doesn't even approach the 20 line. The analysis stays locked down. So it's not going to shake you out. So if you have a big stop, you're going to stay in. But I don't have a big stop. I'm going to trade the reversal. Now, We're going to look for another area where they coincide. And here's where they coincide. Here's where money flow and the Laguerre coincide. Now you get a lock down here, and you can trade it if you want, right here. And you can take this whole move. I prefer to take it when I have money flow and I have a pullback here or here, and take the trade short right there. Now, there's your down arrow right here. There's your early entry. And if you've got a big enough stop to weather these up candles, you've got yourself a gigantic move all the way down. So I'm not looking at your risk tolerance or your automated trade management strategy or when you're going to enter or when you're going to leave the trade. That's really not what I'm trying to teach here or to show you. What I'm trying to show you is how our modified RSI is going to sort of keep you honest, allow you to trade with greater specificity, and allow you to keep away from trades that are likely to just give you chop. Now, if we look here, we don't have money flow. We have the Laguerre. Here's your short arrow. And you'll notice that almost every short arrow follows through. Now, these don't reprint. Now, this could go 2 candles and come right back up at you. And that would be a loser. Here's your long arrow. Depending upon your first target, this is a 2, 4, 6, 8. This is an 8-tick move on crude. I mean, for us, that would be the first target winner. Except I'm not going to counter trend trade here. I am not going to counter trend trade here. And so I'm not going to take any of these trades. Here's where I'm going to look for my trades. Here I've got money flow and the Laguerre locked long. I've got a pullback to support. I'm going to take this trade long. And the Laguerre on these wicks or these pullbacks doesn't even flinch. This line is as straight as you can get. And I'm telling you, standard RSI and stochastic will flinch here. And you may flinch. Now this move here is not only into the high of day, it keeps going, is 26 ticks. That's a very big move. And it's a very lucrative move. It all, depending on how many contracts you trade, the more you trade, the bigger the risk, but the greater the reward. Now here's your short signal, but I don't counter trend trade. And I don't anticipate that a lot of counter trend trades are going to be successful. We know who's in control of the market when it's above the 50, and it's the bulls. We're just looking for a convincing trade. Now this is right at the open. And I mean, I could really do this forever. Now in here, you've got a lot of chop. And you can see you only get an alignment here, and there's the potential to take it short here. And you would have a nice winner. I wouldn't take that trade, but I have a little bit of a different trading methodology. All throughout here, you basically have junk. You have no money flow, and you can trade it on the Laguerre alone right here, which is really a powerful tool, and you can get this move. And here's where you're going to get your tremendous trades. Wait, if you trade the arrow right here, that's the early Laguerre signal. You got the whole move up. That's a huge move. Now let me show you the E-mini. Now the E-mini is going to be a lot tougher to trade. And you're not going to get nearly as many signals, but it is really going to protect you from taking a lot of junk. Now let me remove all the drawing objects. Let's trade it clean. And again, I'm not here to explain all the dots and colors. We just want to look at our Laguerre. And I also do want to look, for some reason these are not coming off. I also do want to look at money flow to try to increase the specificity of the trade. And let's take it from the beginning. This is Friday, and Friday was very tough to trade the E-mini. Now, right here at 9:30, we got nothing. Right here, here's the open. Now, throughout this whole move here, we don't have any money flow. Now we have the Laguerre is telling us short. And if you took this trade right here, you've got a winner. It's the first entry down with the Laguerre down. On this trade here, you just don't have any license to short it. You have right here, there's the Laguerre short. I wouldn't have taken the trade, but the Laguerre is allowing you to take this trade short right here for another winner on the early cross of the 20 down, relieving overbought conditions. That's a counter trend trade. We're not going to take it. It's a counter trend. We're not going to take it. And here's where you finally get the dual alignment in color. You'd need a pullback here for the trade long, and that'd be a winner. Not going to trade anything counter trend. And here's the kind of trades you want right here. This is a pivot breaker right here. And that's a great trade long. Here's a great continuation, not a big trade. Here's your counter trend oscillator signal short, which we're not going to trade. And we can't take this long. We don't have ability to. We're not going to get every winner. All I care about is when we take a trade, we're going to get a winner. Right here, we're already at 1,400 hours. On Friday, the market's dead. But it allow us to get one winner, two winners, three winners, four winners, five winners, six winners, and stay away from all the junk. Now, it made this big move up here. We can't trade it. So what? We also don't trade any of this junk. So that's our goal. Our goal is to provide you with a tool that's going to allow you to read where price is going to move out into the future with greater specificity. A tool that if you use it to augment your trading will get you into trades. When you take a trade, the likelihood of taking a winner is going to be increased significantly. And if you don't have it, the chances are that if you take a trade without it, the probability of getting a loser increases significantly. In a sense, it's a terrific assessor of risk. And we created it in a way that allows you to make the assessment very easy without having to deal with looking at the signal line and the modified RSI line. And it took so much coding. I'll show you in the back, I'll show you inside. It comes in three pieces. It comes as the signal A, signal B, and the RSI. We couldn't fit all the coding into one indicator. You gotta break it up. So that's essentially it. I don't want to be redundant. I can show you other markets. If you ask me, I'm going to look at questions. It really doesn't matter what you trade. Its properties and behavior are going to be the same. Now, what I plan on doing probably on Monday is squeezing it a little bit, because I'm really not going to pay much attention to it. What I really want to pay attention to are the arrows, which are going to come in and flicker intra-candle. So they're not going to surprise me at candle close and just pop in my face and print. I'm going to be able to create my upside target as the candle's forming and create my downside target as the candle's forming. As I said, based on my look back of 3 months, the best entries are going to come when the modified RSI is locked down or locked up. And never trade divergence. That's just my personal opinion. You try to trade divergence here, you're really going to get creamed. Don't fade the market, trade the market. When the bulls are in control, don't look to fade it short, go with them. Because what's happening is when the bulls are in control, as you see here, what they're doing is they're simply mimicking money flow. When money flow, it's easier to show on crude because crude is less choppy. But when the upper line or money flow is green, this is assessing 3 other markets, not crude, correlative markets, telling us that money is flowing into crude oil. The RSI or the modified RSI is going to be with us. And if we didn't have this, just trading this is telling you as a marker that you're trading with the money. You're trading with money flow. And if you wait to fade it, you can potentially get really burnt. Because so many divergence signals get beaten up. I mean, divergence has been around for 20 years. It never made anybody a dime. I don't know anybody who says I'm a millionaire on divergence. So I would ignore it, trade with the direction of the oscillator, because it is following the footprint of big money. And let me see if there are any questions. Let me just show you the offer we have. I didn't really go over the whole platform, but we're going to offer it to you along with just the gear if you just want the gear. I don't have to go through all these slides here. Now here's the offer. If you want the whole platform, it's a $13.99. Get a lifetime license, you get free updates, and you can pay in 2 installments of $6.99 each, a month apart. Now, if you want the modified gear, it's $2.99. And we're going to set it on the website at $7.99. It is a superlative indicator, and it's one that you're not going to see anyplace else. Nobody has the formula we have, and nobody does the assessment the way we do. It's very, very easy to do, and it took an enormous amount of coding to do it. Everyone will come into the live trading room. Now we have 2 live trading rooms. I'll be trading tomorrow morning, but you will also have the option, if you want, to come into the live trading room with Keith. Keith will be starting to trade a week from Monday, and he'll be trading the Forex markets exclusively. He'll be trading at 7:30 a.m. Eastern to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and then I'll be trading from 9:30 a.m. Eastern until hopefully we hit our profit target. And it doesn't matter whether you buy the indicator or you buy the whole package. The first 5 orders will get the mentorship session with me. Now, you can call us now. I mean, Rory's on the phone if you have any questions at 786-713-5276. You can send us an email at info@rightlinetrading.com. Listen, I can't swear it, but I can tell you this is going to make you your $2.99 in one day, because it's really going to stop you from taking losers. And if you trade with it, it's going to get you into winners. It's that good. And I usually don't say that. I'd rather under promise and over deliver, but this is a great indicator, and I'm really excited to trade. So I'll just leave that up because I want to leave up our phone number. But actually, what I'll do is I'll take it off, because if there are any questions, I can show you the markets. So let me bring the questions over and see what they are. Hang on one second. Okay. Hang on one second here. All righty. Hey, good evening, everyone. Hey, good evening, Ricardo. Okay, Ricardo, I've been out the last 3 days, so I don't know. Gary, I knew somebody would ask me about Gary. I'll just mention briefly Ricardo, because a lot of people don't know about him. I had a long talk with him yesterday. He's recuperating nicely, and he's going to be starting his room. I can't give you an exact date. He's not going to be starting on Monday because he's still in the hospital. But Everything came back negative, and he's really doing great. So it's just a matter of time before he starts his room. Now, I know you may not believe me, and you don't have to, but I'm telling you, I saw his live account on Friday. He made $10,000 trading real money. He only trades one market, crude oil, and he starts trading it at 2:30 a.m. And I have his live account. So that's how good he is. He'll be with us soon. And all the question marks are now gone. He's just waiting to leave the hospital and recover. Okay, Christopher, I have two questions. One, can this be connected on Thinkorswim? When connected on Thinkorswim, okay, Christopher, what you're going to have to do is Thinkorswim will run Ninja. So, in fact, we have a great API, and we have a lot of traders. All you need is a demo of Ninja, and we can get you 1 month of a data feed where you don't have to pay for it. So the signal will come on Ninja, and then you're going to have to take the entry on Thinkorswim. So I hope that answers your question. But if you want to confirm an entry on Thinkorswim, you can just take it right off of Ninja, and you can use it on futures, forex, or stocks. It makes no difference. This is a time frame and instrument independent indicator. I mean, it doesn't make any difference whether it's looking at a candle that's assessing a stock, a future, or a forex. It's going to create the same kind of analysis. And it doesn't make any difference whether it's looking at a candle that's a 2-unit Renko or a 20-unit Renko, or a 2-minute or a 10-minute. All of that stuff is irrelevant. Now, when it's connected, I mean, if you connect it, every indicator will show up on Ninja. Thinkorswim runs the whole platform and does it really, really well. It's one of the best APIs we have. We have Oneida. We have Interactive Brokers. I like Thinkorswim the best. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, Christopher. Can I be connected on Thinkorswim? Yes, you can, Christopher. Okay, I hope you got that. Yes, it will. Too much noise on my mic, Fizan? I mean, this is an awfully good mic. I'm sorry. Listen, Wes. Okay, I'm glad I answered your question, Wes. Yes, Jonathan. The answer to you is yes. Dino. I'm sure there are plenty of instances where there is whipsaw action, even with that. Let me tell you, Dino. I mean, I'm telling you, the E-mini is real whippy, and you're simply not going to get faked out often. If I told you you're not going to get losing trades, I'd be lying to you, because I mean, there's nothing that can prevent you from taking losers. But based on your trading methodology, when you get an alignment of this modified RSI with whatever else you're trading to confirm, it's not a standalone. You can't just stick an RSI modified or as powerful as it is and just trade it alone. I mean, everyone's looked at MACD crossovers, trading RSI, things like that. You're going to make a little bit of money, but you're going to make like 5 or 10% a year on it. And that's trading stocks. You're going to need something to confirm, but it's very rarely going to mislead you. And it's very often going to keep you out of a losing trade. That's all I can really promise you. It's going to improve your win percentage no matter what methodology you trade if you take a trade with it. because really what it's tracking is money flow, and it's doing it smoothly, and it's doing it like I said, with a great amount of specificity, not sensitivity. It's not going to try to grab every trade. It's only going to signal you into the trades that have a lot of authority and power. That's the whole point of modifying the formula. And you saw that standard RSI and standard stochastic are very whippy, and we don't want that. I mean, those are going to get you into bad trades and probably catch an additional winner or two, but it's not going to make you more money. Roy, it may have moved a Laguerre, but not enough to signal you an exit or to change the color of the assessment. That's all that's important. And remember, I can still show you this. I haven't clicked it out. I'll bring it back. On this move down, here, let me just take out all the drawing objects again. This move up on this candle here would have changed your assessment if you took if you used a standard RSI or a standard oscillator, or standard stochastic, because once the stochastic line crosses the signal line, you really have to be careful. Now, like I said, the stochastic line, it still stayed below 20. So you could kind of weather this up candle. But if you use standard RSI, you got to exit, because you get a move of the RSI or stochastic line above the signal line, above 20, telling you you got to get out. So both of these are a problem. But look at our modified RSI. The line just doesn't budge. I mean, you shouldn't turn a hair here. And if it does take you out, you go right back in. You can't re-enter on these indicators. And these are just standard indicators. A lot of traders use RSI, and this would have blown you out of the trade and not allowed you to get back into this trade. So when you compare them up against each other, you can see its stability and specificity. And I could show you this over and over again. Look at how this behaves here. Hold on a minute. Well, see, we're at the end of the day. On almost every move, right here, now that's obviously a big move up, and everything reacts to it. But on the move down, you actually get a signal short here. It's crossing right here. It's here. But you get the money, but you get our lockdown right here. And this is the best place to take the trade short, right here. Now, stochastic would have signaled you in a couple of candles early, and this would have signaled you in a couple of candles early. But for me, I'd rather take it when I've got a higher probability of getting a winning trade. Now, this one went down so hard and fast, everything just flew down. Here's the line, it just stays and flattens. Here's this line, it just stays and flattens. Here, there's really no difference. But you're going to get a lot of whippy moves here, where one candle is going to blow you out on stochastic and RSI. It's not going to do it on the modified Laguerre. The red line, Larry, I'm not sure which red line. The red line, I hope I answered that question. This is when the modified RSI is locked down. It tells you when the bears are absolutely in firm control of the market, or it tells you when the bulls are in firm control of the market. And it doesn't always coincide with the Laguerre or modified RSI being locked up. It's doing its own calculation, which is why we had to break this off and create an additional set of coding for it. I don't know which one of these it is. It's this one. It's signal B. It's very, very important. And look how it gets you right into this trade. Right here. Now, if you use standard stochastic, you have no trade. Here is your perfect short trade. Here on the stochastic, it's moving up. It's going in the wrong direction. RSI is going in the wrong direction. The modified RSI or Laguerre is locked flat. This is a huge difference in the assessment of momentum and price movement. This is telling you to anticipate a long trade because the oversold conditions have been met. You're above the 20 line and you're looking for a long trade. Here, you never get below the 20 line and you're anticipating a long trade. Here, you're locked short and flat, and you know that price is going to fall. So the standard RSI and standard stochastic are telling you to go long. The modified Laguerre or modified RSI is giving you the exact direction you need to trade. And that's because of the filters and the change in formula. And that's an amazing difference if you trade these standard indicators versus this modified. And you don't even have to, again, you don't have to look at the indicator. You just, oh my gosh. So you know what it is? It's signaling behind me on my trading chart because I have the indicators. So we have a few doorbells we have to deal with. So that's, I mean, this is a great example of how much better it is. I mean, and I guarantee you, look at this short trade right here. I'm telling you, there are going to be a lot of examples of how good it is. Right here, this is where you're coming down below from 80 and crossing. Here on standard stochastic, you have no trade because you never got above 80. You never got an overbought condition. Here, the RSI, standard RSI, didn't even come close to being overbought. Here, you got a perfect short trade. Now, it's no big trade, but it's a winner. It's pointing you in the right direction. Now, you're not taking it off of a lockdown. I would wait for the lockdown here and take this trade short right here. And there's your huge winner. And this is why I'm saying it's better to wait for that red line telling you that the bears are firmly in control of the market. The oscillator, standard stochastic, it's a merry-go-round here. And your trade is going to be the same place, but boy, it's going to eat your insides out because it's all over the place. Same thing with RSI. It's signaling you long, never gets oversold. This is straight down and flat, analyzing the same price movement. It's just got better insight, and the filters are better, and the formula is better. Monday, Teresa. I think Monday or Tuesday. No, Wes, listen, you can enter on the arrow. You always have two potential entries. The arrow entry is the cross of the modified RSI line down across the 80 line. You can take this trade. It's a valid trade. Or you can wait for the indicator to be locked short and get this red line and take that line and take that entry. That's up to you. I can't, from my assessment of it, this red line is better. It all depends on your risk tolerance. This is going to get you in sooner, but you may have to weather a little bit more of a storm on the move down. This is going to get you in a little bit later, but you can see how smooth price behaves once you get in. See the short here? This is no short because it's above the 50. But let's say you took it. You're going to take it. You're going to have 2 candles up. Then it's going to continue down. You're going to have a lot more of a headache, and that this could go right back up. It doesn't. The Laguerre never tells you it will. So you're going to get in a lot earlier, but it's a little bit riskier. So it's your call whether you want to take the additional risk of an early entry or wait for the lockdown and take the red line. And it's totally based on your risk tolerance. This is going to get you in early on a lot more trades. And although I haven't done a 6-month forward test on it, and I don't know which one gives you the best equity curve, although we will send that data out if you want to come aboard and get the indicator. Just from my own look back, and I look back about 3 months, it's simply my personality to take the safer trade, even if it costs me some ticks. This entry to me appears to be safer, but I'll tell you, this is also a real good entry. And I'm not recommending which one you take. I'm simply instructing you as to what you're seeing and how different this indicator trades from the standard indicators you can get. That's really all. I mean, RSI here is a disaster. Your stochastic works here, but then in the move, it pulls you right out of the move. So it's only going to give you a little piece because it rises above 20. The stochastic line crosses the signal line above the 20 line. You got to leave if you believe in this indicator. This just stays flat. No, Wes, I'm telling you, it's either one. It's up to you as to which way you want to go. I'm giving you some discretion, that's all. Oh, there's plenty of time, Reg. I mean, we can go through any time here. I mean, remember, this is crude, and it doesn't make any difference. I mean, if you want to look right here, now that's a perfect long entry. That's an early entry, but that's a great entry. Right here, not going to have the red band yet because the market isn't locked up. But that is a terrific call right there. Here, you get a lock right here. And there's your continuation long. And you're not going to take any counter trend trades. At least I'm not going to. So you can look at the whole day. And here's your move down. Now, you can take it right here. Look at the Laguerre. It's locked down here flat. And you get bumps in both stochastic and standard RSI. Standard RSI and stochastic. This one's going to take you out of the trade. This one you could probably stay in because you're still below the 20 line. This doesn't even budge. And this is another winner. So it's not that it's pre-market, I'm telling you. Here you get a move down on the arrow. This is a loser. It's the first one we've seen, but this gets you in earlier. So because you're going to get in earlier, it comes with a little bit of additional risk. That's why I like to trade the lockdown. And it's good to show a loser because I don't want you to think for a second that this is going to give you 100% winners. Here's your perfect winner. Above the 50, above the 15, there's the arrow, and up you go, right here. And now we're moving. See, here is a loser. Here's no trade. And here's your short trade. It's an early trade. If you take it here, you can take it all the way down. It's a huge winner. So the arrow is going to give you earlier entries, but it is associated with a little bit more risk. And it's up to you whether or not you want to trade it. Remember, on this chart, we don't have we have no confirmation of any other indicator. And as a sole indicator, I don't recommend to trade it. You need additional stuff. But it's a terrific augmentation to use. And on this red line, you've got yourself another really nice winner here. Safe, too. So we can go, now here we're getting 1,300 hours, and crude's going to die right here. But here's your long trade, and up. Here's another long trade, and up. Here you just don't get a signal. But here's your lock, right here, green. If you get a pullback here, you're long. There's your signal. It's a small trade. For us, it would be a winner. And now we're at 1,800 hours. So I just went through the whole day. So believe me, it's not pre-market. And in terms of time, on crude, you almost 99% of the time you're gonna get time to get into these trades. Even though it's Unorenco, occasionally crude will move fast. Getting into the trades for me at least, is not really a problem. Every now and then, though, it will happen. It'll just slide past you. Well, listen, Roy, what this is looking at, really, it's a momentum indicator. So what you're looking for is to trade in the direction of momentum. So when you're locked short, what the indicator is telling you is that momentum is to the downside. When you cross the 80 line and head down, it's telling you that momentum is also moving down. So all you're doing is using this indicator to assess momentum direction. And that's the direction you always want to trade in the direction of. These are all standard stochastic and standard RSI are also doing the same momentum calculations with a different formula and with no filters. And it causes too much choppiness in the indicator. And they're too difficult to trade. And you have to look at the indicator in order to make an assessment of whether or not you should trade. Here, you don't even have to look at the indicator. Just look at the color of the bar and look at the intercandle flicking of the arrow. And you don't even have to look really at the indicator itself. That's all you're doing. No, it doesn't have to. The ATM doesn't have to change, Kevin. Like I said, our ATM is based out on a reversal candle. We're not going to change that. I'm not going to take more than a reversal candle's worth of risk. You can see if you had, but that's really not the focus here. If you were willing to take more than a candle of risk, you could have this whole trade. This gets, this is going to put you in right here, and you're going to get a little bit smaller piece of it. But how much risk you want to take is not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about here is the absolute direction you must trade and the authority and specificity with which this modified RSI creates for you. So you've got a nice trade when you get in at the beginning, as long as you have some form of confirmation. Because I don't want to proffer it as a trading system. Just trade the arrows and trade the color. I don't believe it's going to create enough specificity, although let me tell you, it's awfully good. I think you need something to confirm. Some other trading tools, whatever it is that you have, whether it's the rest of our platform or it's your own trading methodology. You need that in order to make all this work. Everyone, I never get I never get a page until I do a webinar. So that's really my goal. Hold on one second. I just skipped a whole bunch of questions here. Yes, it is. It's a change. It is a change, Jonathan. Hey, Robert. Robert, it's not going to have anything that's adjustable. But if you can give us a better gamma, and you're a smart guy, you tell us, and we'll adjust the gamma and see how it works. But the gamma is a little bit above what I wanted to discuss. But you created a better. If you can find a better gamma, you let us know. Really, I think we have the best one, but we're always open. No, you should hear me. No, no. When I refer to the 20, Roy, I'm referring to the oversold 20 here and the overbought 80 here. I'm referring to it on the indicator. The moving averages are 15 and 50. But what I'm referring to here is actually these lines on the indicators. Um, Now, these are not exactly, I'll show you the inputs. I'm not going to, there's no secret here. Uh, our overbought is 0.618 and our oversold is 0.382. We don't have, oh, here, I'm sorry, it's 0.8 and 0.2. So those are the lines I'm referring to. These are the intermediate lines that I don't want to really discuss right now. They're the gray lines inside here. Now, they can be used to trade. And if you come aboard and you take the mentorship, I will show you how to leverage these as well. They will also give you additional trades. They're a little riskier, but they're still good. But right now, I just want to stick with the fundamental analysis of the indicator and show you its stability and its accuracy. Yes, Bennett, on the whole platform, we will. Yes, you're going to get a copy of the indicator. Yeah, Roy, those haven't changed. I mean, our 50 and 15 are the same. You know what, Ron? All my paperwork is in. So as soon as I get the word, we're good. I got the last sheet of paper in. Absolutely, Gene. Larry, they'll work on any charts. It does not matter. It does, as long as it forms an open high low close. It will work perfectly. It doesn't even matter if it's a candlestick. If you want to trade, that's the wrong one to look at. I mean, if you want to trade open high low close, you'll notice it did not change the assessment. Every single indicator on this chart did not budge. It doesn't make any difference what you trade. Now, if it did make a difference, everything here would change. So it makes absolutely no difference. The only thing that'll throw it off is if you trade a Renko chart. That's all. So you can trade an open high low close. You can trade anything as long as it creates a wick. And then we're back to what we were. You're good to go. You can trade minutes, you can trade hours, you can trade dailies. It's irrelevant. I mean, again, the only thing the indicator is assessing is the open high low close of each formation. And this is the formation. It doesn't know whether this is an hour, a day, a week, a minute, a second, a Unirenko. It's just looking at those four parameters in this candle. That's all. This week, Kirk. Okay, let's take a look, Roger. Now, the NASDAQ is really a brutal instrument right now. Well, let's take a look at it. I hope it doesn't drop my chart. All right, we got it. Now let's change the inputs. We trade this on a 4, on a 10, 4, 20. And let's take a look. This is tonight. Let's look at it. We'll look at Friday. Let's see how well it did. Friday was a very rough day to trade the NQ because I went over it in the morning. I'm going to take off all the drawing tools and we'll see how it does. Now remember, this is a standalone. I'll take off all the tools. That didn't do much. Remove all drawing objects. Select all. Well, nothing came off, so that's all right. Right here at 9:43 is your first short trade. Perfect short. You could even have taken this trade short. Here's one winner. Here's two winners. Now you see if you took the arrow here, you can go anywhere. Here's the first trade on your red line, on your lockdown. That's a winner. So let's just take those trades. Here's your second trade on the lockdown. There you go, second winner. Now here's your third trade on the lockup. Right here on the pullback to the 50, that's your third winner. Now here you have nothing. You can't trade it. Right here is a move up. You have to endure that one pull down. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, here's 1 on the lockdown, 2 on the lockdown, 3 on the lockup, 4 on the lock up. And we're not going to do the arrows because they're too risky on the NQ. Here's 5 on the lockdown. It's 5 winners in a row. If it was me, I would be done and not even look back. Now it kept us at, if you traded just a pullback and continuation with the modified RSI locked down, you've got 5 winners in a row and it's time to close. It's Friday and you're done. But we'll do the whole day. Although I would not recommend it. There's nothing here. Now here's a great entry on the arrow. We're not going to take those. We're just going to take the safest trades. Right here is your next winner. And look at this trade. I mean, this is awesome. So you have 7 or 8 in a row winners. I mean, no one on a Friday would continue to trade past 11:45 if you got 5, 6, or 7 winners in a row. This is all it took to get these winners, nothing more. So it handled the NQ like cake. You can see that the arrow down, the early entry, the one you would take on the RSI, the one you would take on standard stochastic, is going to get you in earlier, just like the other indicators will, but they're going to get you in with more risk. This is an entry here on standard stochastic. It doesn't make it. Here's the entry. Well, the entry here on standard RSI is right here. It gets you a better entry. It's too much risk. Trade the lock to the downside when the bears are firmly in control. Trade the lock to the upside when the bulls are firmly in control, and you're going to get winners. Now there's the early arrow, and here's your lock, and there's your trade. See the wick, and there you go. Now every candle's 4 ticks. This is 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. This is a 28 tick move. That is not a bad move at all. So it's a great trade. Look at this trade down. There's the wick back. Remember, you need a retracement and the move down. This is a big move for a 12, 16, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 40. It's a 48 tick move down, 13. So it would have handled the NQ great. Patrick, we're changing crew to get a much bigger runner, but I don't think we're going to change the E-mini. Justin, it'll be on NTA on Tuesday, if not Monday. I know Sergio worked on it all weekend, but I'd rather under promise, like I said. So for sure on Tuesday, with high likelihood of Monday. Oh, John, good playoff game on. I just watched. I think it was who got crushed. I just watched a team get crushed, and it was by New England. Yes, it is, John. Yes, it does, Dino. It comes with all the arrows. That's all part of the program. Signals, this line. Remember, there's 3 parts to it. You get all 3. You get the signal, and the indicator itself. If I'm showing it to you on this chart, you get it. Stephen, it will absolutely work on a 210 tick. In fact, I'll show it to you. Remember, tick charts, which I traded for a long time, give you an open, high, low, close. So for sure, it's going to. Just let me find the tick here. I don't know why I can't do that. Oh, okay, I got it. Instead of minutes here. Hold on 1 second here. Let me just switch it to here. Here's tick, and let's put in 210. I'm going to do the same thing. Obviously, it creates a different formation, but there's your lock to the upside right here, and there's your long move. Let's find another one. Right here. Lock to the upside, long. A tick is obviously, let's go to the beginning of that. This is the NASDAQ. There's your short trade. Hold on. This is a fast chart for the NQ, man. A 210 tick on the NQ is really fast. But the assessment is still accurate. Let me just go to the beginning here. Now, a tick chart is going to be a little choppier. We're going to have to wait right here. There's your short. You just don't have anything here. There's your long. This is just you still have an entry. No entry here. You can't enter here. You can see that I don't know how much of that you can ride. That's a tough move, but you do get an entry. And there's your great entry right there, short. Now I don't know what your ATM is, but they're all the way down. It's always pointing you in the right direction. You just need a good entry right here. Up you go. You're trading a very, very fast chart on a 210 tick. Yeah, well, it'll have recording. No, it's for non-owners, Kevin. Fitzroy, we will send you a link as soon as this is over. Yes. You can trade it on anything, Stephen. Not just ES or NQ or CL. It doesn't make any difference. Let me just say one thing about an indicator. If you're in the room, if you're still in the room, it means you don't mind staying a little bit. If an indicator or analysis doesn't have these properties, then it doesn't work. It's got to be time independent, and it's got to be market independent. And also, it has to be formation independent. Now, if formation is range, Unorenko, can't spell, I can't type actually. Time, tick, all these things give you an open, high, low, close. If it's not formation independent, if it's not market independent, if it's not time independent, it's just, it's a finagle. Because if it's truly measuring market momentum and those four parameters are present, it will work independently. It will work, and it doesn't make any difference. Now, if you trade a really fast chart like a 210 tick, it's going to be tougher to get a great entry, and you have the potential to get more false signals, but you're going to get in fast. So obviously that's a factor, but it's got to be time independent, market independent, and you could trade a 4-hour chart if you want to swing trade this. So it doesn't matter. I just want to make that clear. Okay, Ricardo. Okay, I've got some people. Yes, Alan. That's Altan. That's correct. Okay. All right. You know what? You know something, David. I would show it to you. I don't have my Forex data feed hooked up, and I'm ready a half an hour early. But trust me, Dave. It doesn't look at whether or not. I mean, these candles can be Google. They can be Amazon. They could be gold, crude, the E-mini, the NASDAQ, the euro pound, the euro dollar. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, if you're ever going to trust me on that. It's going to give you great Forex signals. And I just don't want to take the time to unhook my CQG and hook up my Forex. But I'm not doing it because I want to hide. The Forex market gives you great entries. It's going to be a huge help to trade it. Yes, Ed, it will. Yes, Safir, there is. Reg, we don't for crude, but we will soon. Gary's our early morning guy who unfortunately has a medical issue that he's overcoming. He was going to start a week ago at 2:30 a.m. Eastern to trade crude oil early in the morning. Now, you get a month in the trading room. If you want to wait for him, you can wait. He's going to be with us. And if he wasn't, I would tell you. I spoke to him today. He is going to open that 2:30 a.m. Eastern room. It's just a matter of his recovery time. I mean, right now he's still in the hot. And I told you, he traded on I'm not kidding you. He traded on a laptop. He made $10,000 off of crude on Friday. He just can't run a trading room from a hospital bed. I mean, that's a little bit much, but he will be with us. I mean, all his medical problems are all behind him. Now he's just recovering. Yeah, you'll get the replay video then. Yes, JJ, like I said, I wanted to clarify. It's formation independent. It is time independent. It does not make any difference what time frame you're trading. It's irrelevant to this indicator. And this indicator doesn't know. All it's looking at is the open, high, low, close, churning it into the formula, comparing it with the previous. It does a look back to smooth. It's part of its filters. The others don't have look backs. This modified RSI does. And that's what creates its ability to be smooth during sometimes a choppy move. It really, really does a great assessment of momentum. And when it's locked up, momentum is long. Now, many years ago, I looked at it at an unbounded indicator. So there wasn't a 100 line. It could keep going up and up and up and up and up, up and up forever. But it's better to have it lock up and get this green than to have it unbounded. I found that out by making it unbounded. Yes, 7 and 8. It only works on the Ninja platform, Philippe. That's correct. But you can run the Ninja platform off of many other platforms and take the entries from there. Next week, David, it'll be ready for NT8. Be ready for NT8 Tuesday, the latest. As a lifetime member, Max, you always get all upgrades, add-ons, and we hold, personal webinars for members only.
Shit, he's got 156 people in there.
Rory, we can hear you. That's Rory. He's got his microphone on. So that's what you get as it's really a lifetime license. So when we do upgrades and add-ons, you get them for free. If we modify this, we find a gamma that's even better, we upgrade it, we're going to send it out to you for free. We don't charge you ever for updates and improvements in the indicator that you get. And you're going to get access to all these proprietary webinars. Thank you, Vicky. The full, okay, we're good. Gotcha. E-Trade, Ricardo, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. Just call us tomorrow. Rory would know that. Yes, Jonathan, NT8 this next week. Shalom, we don't have the revolutions perfected yet. We don't do back testing, we do forward testing. And we're going to do it, and I will give you the results. Really, really down to a tenth of a decimal. Yeah, you should call Rory SG. Eventually, Steve, we're going to have 3 trading rooms. We have Keith Absolute for a week from Monday. He'll be trading the Forex from 7:30 to 9:30. Gary, at some point, I can't promise. It all depends upon his doctors telling him when he can trade. But he told me today that he will be. But I don't want to promise you a date and then not meet it. He'll be trading at 2:30 a.m. So eventually, you're gonna have 2:30 a.m. to whenever he makes his. I don't know. He makes a lot of money. You're gonna have 7:30 a.m. and then me at 9:30 a.m. So you have 3. Kim, the stop is always on a reversal candle. That's really what you need to do. That's my recommendation. Remember, it's not part of the webinar, but what I recommend is on the E-mini, it's 11 ticks based on the Unirenko. But no matter what you're trading, I would recommend exiting on a reversal candle. And you may get the thing that a lot of traders don't do is follow through, because you may wind up getting right back into the trade if the reversal candle takes you out. That's my recommendation. Whatever size candle you're trading, calculate how many ticks it takes on a down move to get an up move, on an up move to get a down candle. That's your stop. I mean, that's based on market structure, and I could go into more detail about why that works, but it really is helpful. Sure, it'll work. No, cause we just finished it, Wes. It's not on the website. It'll go up this week. No, nope, we're not. Shalom, we will. You can with PayPal in. I'll talk to Rory about sending you a link. Yes, the same indicator is going to be used for Forex. Absolutely. Just call us, Jose, and we'll give it to you. We'll send you the upgrade. It does, Dino. 7, 7, and 8. Correct, Wes. Sean, it's 9:05. You just need to give me the market. I'm kind of rushing a little bit because we're running 2 hours, almost 2 hours over, and I'm sorry. No problem, Teresa. Thank you, John. I want it to be clear. And the reason I put it on these charts and don't use JPEGs is because JPEGs can show you everything. And that's really what most webinars consist of. They consist of a series of JPEGs in which you can be shown whatever they want you to see. I want you to see a real market, and I want you to see real entries, and I want you to see what would happen to you in a trading day. I mean, that's the reason I put up our live charts. And I mean, I could have shot 25 JPEGs in an hour and just JPEG this presentation. I don't want to do that. I want you to see how it reacts with crude, the E-mini. We checked, the NASDAQ was a killer winner day on Friday. 6 or 7 winners in a row, and you're going to get good trades on the 210. You're just going to have to be fast. That's a very, very fast chart. And I think there were 300,000 contracts on the NQ on Friday. So a 210 tick is going to be a quick move. My pleasure, Wes. Happy New Year to you, Rian. Yes, it is, Rian. You know it is. Yes, Robert. Yes. Yes, no charge. No, Heinz, you get 7 and 8, same charge. We don't charge you for 7 and then charge you for 8. If you buy it, you can have it for both platforms. No, Larry, this is a standard indicator. This is not different for each instrument. Remember, this is looking at price on your trading chart, so you don't do a different one for each one. This is a simple indicator to program or to format for you. Where is the colored bar located in relation to the other 5 bars? I'm not sure I understand the question, David. Where is the colored bar? Let me just change this back to something slower. And I'm just going to change it back to our Uniranko. 5210. And also change it from the NQ to crude. Whoops. Let me change it to crude because crude is it's perfect for CL at 5210. So I just need to know your question. I'm not sure what that question is, David. It says, what is the colored bar? Where's the color in relation to the other 5 bars shown on the index? Oh, listen, here's the E-mini. And we've combined the quants. You only have now 1 quant line. This is money flow. I'm sorry, this is our Laguerre line. This is money flow. You only have 2 lines now to trade. We eliminated the 5 with a lot of reprogramming. This is all you need. The 2 lines to align and it pull back and continuation. It's a really simple program to trade. We eliminated a lot of stuff to make room for this modified Laguerre assessment. Okay, now Rory put links in the chat if you want to purchase. It will work with TOS, Bill. What you're going to have to do, and I want to make it clear, is you need a demo Ninja platform, which we'll set this up for you. You need a demo Ninja because you're not trading it. Then we'll set you up with a data feed for 1 month. After that, you're going to have to pay a few bucks a month to run NinjaTrader. But I'm sorry, you don't. The data will come from your TOS. We'll connect it to your demo Ninja. So the Ninja will give you the entry signals and you can take them on TOS. And like I said, our API for TOS is great. So your connection from Thinkorswim to Ninja is terrific. It'll power this whole platform for you. And you won't have to pay anything for the data feed because you're getting it from Thinkorswim. Everything is recorded, Heinz. Sakhir, I just don't have the time. I mean, we're going 2 hours. Like I said, on the Forex, you got to trust me. This indicator doesn't look at the market. It doesn't care. It's going to help you immensely on Forex. I'm taking the Ikimoku app, Frank. It doesn't help me. If you want it, we'll give it to you, though. We formatted it. We spent a lot of time programming it. Gary's going to use it. He likes it on crude. I don't see it, so I'm not going to trade it, but you're welcome to have the indicator. Stephen, you know what? I'll have to show that to you because I got to close. And I'm getting multiple pages from my cohort. So I just got, I got, but I'm telling you, it's no matter what your time frame, it's going to look, let me try to do it really fast for you. You want to see a 210 on crude. And let me try to get that in there quick. Let me move this out of Unarango and go here. And then for some reason, it looks like if I do this, I'm going to get, here's the tick. You want a 210 tick here. Let's put it in and see. All right, now we lost background color, but that doesn't matter. Let me just refresh it once. Now don't look at the dots. They would have to be reformatted, and that's the full platform. I should have done this on the simpler chart, but it's still going to work. All right, let's see. And we're going to look at this Laguerre line right here, not the upper line. And we're going to look for a trade right here. Let's go to the early morning. Got the same entry right here. Now, it actually came a little bit later than this on the tick chart. Let me keep looking here. I mean, to me, the 210 is a lot choppier. Now, here's a great long trade. Now, you're going to lose your quant because the quant is not programmed for a 210 tick. But there's your Laguerre modified long. Here's another one. Long. Don't look at the color of that upper line because it's no longer doing an appropriate assessment. Now here looks like a short. And don't look at the candle color. Short. This just doesn't get you in time here to get this short trade. You'd have to take it right here out of consolidation down. Again, don't look at the upper color. It's inaccurate. Here's your short trade. I mean, it's always pointing you in the right direction. You're just going to have, what you're going to have to do is configure the entries. right here is a great long trade. Okay. I mean, it's always going to keep you, and this is a terrific entry at 10:30. Holy moly. I mean, that's your, I don't know what your ATM is, but even from here to here, that's a great trade. I mean, this is a very, again, very fast chart. I don't see anything here. I mean, I'm looking at the trades right off the 50. Now you see here the gear analysis. It's not going to get you short till right here. That's a great short, all the way down. Okay. Okay, Stephen, it did it for you. Yes, Jim, it is for NT8. Yes, it does, Justin. Yes, JP. Oh, Chargers, okay. Go, yeah, oh, man, Pats are, oh, man, that guy, Tom Brady, is just incredible. He just murdered the Chargers. Happy New Year to you, Rian, too. Yes, you call us, you get the package. Like I said, Donald, I'm personally not going to use it. It's all done. If you like it, we'll be more than happy to give it to you. That's a great question, Don. On those lockup or lockdown trades, would you ever increase your size on the positions? You know what? That's one thing that Gary does. He will increase his size. I just don't do it, David, because I think as the trade matures, it gets me nervous. Really what I want to do is scale out. In stocks, I would do that. In futures, I would. Remember, that's just me. If I was trading a stock, I would scale up into a position like that. On futures or Forex as a leveraged instrument, I would be hesitant to do it, but that's not necessarily the right way to do it, because you're going to see Gary scale into some of these positions and increase his size as the trade matures. That's just not my style, although you can do it. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean, Donald, is also part of it. Have to go to the, I don't know if it's delay letter, DOS, Stephen, to the top. Yes, Stephen, it will. Eagles behind. Oh, no. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you, Jack. Jack said that my presentation was more exciting than the Eagles who were behind. I really want the Eagles to win. I did my training in Philadelphia, so I'm a transplanted Eagles fan. I don't like the 210. I don't, I just don't. It doesn't give you good configurations. Listen, I used to trade a 144 and the next fib and a 610 tick on the Russell, but that was way back in 2005. Then I went to range, and I stayed with range for a long time. It is included, Hans. Okay. Monday, Joseph. JT, look, I wouldn't trade a tick chart. I'm telling you, that's just my predisposition. If you want to look at tick, I can show you. What I would do is I would trade some multiple of a fib number. And I just can't remember what they are going up that high. I know 144 is a fib, and then there's then after that there's like a 2 something, and then there's I would trade something closer in the 300s, but I would trade a fib multiple of a tick number. And for some reason, I've just found that those fib multiples trade a little bit better, but that could be my imagination. But I would increase the tick number, because I think 210 is way too quick. But I mean, listen, JT, I don't like tick. And here's the reason. You don't know where the candle's going to close. And you want to have your buy stop or sell stop set based on where you anticipate it to close. On a range, you know where exactly where it's going to close. On a Uniranking, you know exactly where it's going to close. On a minute, at least you know the time is ticking down. You have an idea. Tick goes so fast. I think it's hard to set a buy or sell stop. So for me, I'm not crazy about tick anymore. I agree, Stephen. I'm sure the RTY is, Betty. Thank you. God bless you too, Phil. Thank you so much. Crude has, let me tell you, crude, when we open in the morning at 9:30, crude's already done 250,000 contracts, Joseph. And it's done that all night. So crude's done a lot of volume at night. It is not a bad instrument to trade at 2:30 a.m. Eastern. It's the only one I can think of that I would, obviously you're not doing it on the on any of the index equities, and I wouldn't do it on gold because gold is too light. Crude trades good at night. Yes, it is, Heinz. Yes, it will. You will, Gene. Again, Steve, 2:30 a.m. crude, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Forex, 9:30 futures. Keith, for sure, a week from Monday. Gary, at some time in the future, depending upon his recovery. But he's recovering and he's doing really well, so that room will open. 7 or 8. It does, Han. Sure, Justin. We'll provide you with all the information. No problem. It will work on TOS, Bill, because your TOS data feed will power Ninja. All you need is a demo of Ninja. You don't have to pay anything. We download, and we configure it for you. We download a demo Ninja, hook it up to your Thinkorswim data feed. It powers it, runs the indicator, and it's so easy to make the assessment. You're going to trade off a TOS, and you're going to have to look at the NinjaTrader platform, but you can leverage this indicator. And it's for absolutely no money in terms of running NinjaTrader. It doesn't cost you anything. Gary's a big oil trader, man. That's what he likes to trade. He hates the E-mini. Listen, Steve, if Gary wants to trade the DAX at 2:30 a.m., it's going to be his call. But the DAX is really it's really a European session instrument, I for the most part. Oh, sure. You can test his room. Don't worry about it. We'll give everybody a trial in his room. Brian, I don't know. I believe it's available. If you just call us, we'll send it to you. I don't know on that one, Sapphire, but it's shortly. Okay, listen, I'm going to close it out. I can't do it, JJ. You'll have to call me tomorrow. I don't have my stock data feed set up either. That's a great one, though. The SPY and the QQQ. I'll be happy to show that to you personally on TeamViewer because they're going to trade great. Let me tell you, trading the SPY and the QQQ on this system is very lucrative if you also want to leverage it in futures, trading futures. If you have the money and you just want to trade shares of the QQQ and the SPY, it gives you great entries. The QQQ is my favorite. The SPY is my second favorite. No problem, Rianne. Thank you, guys. Yes, it will be, Stephen. You absolutely get everything. You get the color bar. You get the. I mean, if I showed it to you, you're going to get. You get the arrows, the entry arrows. You get everything. I'm not going to. I'm not going to show you anything that's associated with this indicator that you're not going to get. You're not going to get this money flow line. That's a completely different assessment. I just wanted to back it up with an additional indicator. But trading it alone off of your platform, or if you want everything, the full platform, that's your call. But everything that comes with this indicator you're going to get. Like I said, it's 3 parts. Here's the arrows, here is the bar, and here's the actual indicator. And you get all 3 of them. I think we've sent it out, Brian. If we haven't sent it to you, just send us an email and we'll send it to you. Yes, you do, Stephen. That's correct. Thank you, David. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I got to really run too here. Well, don't worry about that, Ed. Listen, I honest to God, I got to go because we're 2 hours. We're going to 2 hours. Yes, you will, Joseph. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. You can't, Bob, because we have spent so much work fine tuning the gamma on the Laguerre and the entries that we buried them because we don't want anyone taking them. I mean, we've created a really superior stochastic to anything that's out there, in my personal opinion. And if we put all the inputs in the indicator, anyone will be able to copy them. And so we can't do that, Bob. That's the reason. It does, Han. Absolutely. It includes everything. The 1399 includes 100% of our indicators. So that is a complete deal. It includes the Laguerre. It includes everything we have, and you get all upgrades forever. So when we create if we create a new indicator, you get it. I can't, again, JJ, I can't, but I'll be happy to do it for you personally. I don't have a stock data feed set up, and we're running so late. We're into 2 hours. I just don't want to hold everybody over. I'm sorry. Eagles lost. Shit. Excuse me. Now they're up against a really rough team, but I really, really like the Eagles. What a shame. Thank you, Han. 1 quant, Ed. That's correct. We've broken it back down to 1, and we're going to use the Laguerre line. And I think we're going to really rock. We're going to kill it. Yes, Robin, we do. And you'd have to talk to me personally for optimal tick numbers that I would recommend for different instruments. I mean, you can't trade the E-mini that trades 1 million contracts or 800,000 contracts with the same ticks number as you do, say, gold or something with a lot less volume. You really do have to modify the tick number. Oh, okay, Kevin, that's it too. I used to trade sometimes a 610 actually, and a 277 a lot. No, I like the 233. I traded that often on the Russell. Yeah, 377. The 233 and the 377 were my 2 speeds on the Russell back in 2005, and they worked nicely. Now, some people were trading a 144, which is way too fast. I was too fast for me. But a 233 and a 377 are nice speeds, I think, for the NQ. Yep. Thank you, Khalid. Yes, Gary trades our indicator program. Very shortly, Heinz. We're killing ourselves for that. No, Stephen, he trades a short-term time frame. You're going to see, listen, everyone's going to get a free trial in that room. So I don't want to tell you his inputs and stuff because just come into the room. You're going to get a free trial. Everybody's going to get that free trial. No problem. We've got 2 people who need PayPal. We'll send it out. You're so funny, Stephen. Stephen says, if you don't tell us the inputs, how can we sell it on our own for 10,000 bucks? Let me tell you, we had enough people stealing this program in Eastern Europe. There are 2 websites that are selling it, but no one buys it because you have to send them. You have to send them Western Union to I think you have to send it to Cyprus, and God only knows what you're going to get because you have to pay up front. Don't worry, Stephen. We'll get you the PayPal. Okay, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Listen, I hope to see you. You get the indicator. You're going to be in my trading room. We'll give you a lot of consideration for Gary and Keith's as a trial. Don't worry about the training rooms. If you think it's going to help you and you want to come aboard, you want the full system. We're there to back you up, and don't worry about any tech. Sergio will do everything for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I just wish you guys good health, happiness, and wealth, and let's make money together. No, Hines, I said I don't know the day. He was scheduled for the 21st. I can't say yes or no. It's all based on his doctors. All I can tell you is after talking with him an hour yesterday, he's recovering, and he will do the room. But I can't promise a day. If I do, I would be whistling in the dark. I know he wants to trade, so it's going to be soon. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye-bye.